Intermittent fasting involves intentionally alternating between periods of eating food and avoiding food. But what about supplements? Will those break your fast? In this video, we'll talk about what supplements and vitamins will definitely break your fast and what ones are safe to take. The unintentional mistakes end here. Let's get started. So intermittent fasting, or IF for short, is intentionally switching and alternating between your fasting window and your eating window on a regular schedule. Your fasting window is a time where you need to be refraining from all food and drink that contains calories. But many people think that it's okay to take supplements during your fasting window because those supplements are not technically food. So let's talk about that. Some supplements are beneficial. They're good to have during your fast, and then some other ones are definitely gonna break your fast and ruin your progress when you think that you're actually fasting. Supplements are things like amino acids and tryptophan, probiotics, caffeine, protein, and even ginger would be a supplement. So vitamins are all the ones that you're familiar with. They're vitamins A, B vitamins, C, D, E, and K. A vitamin can be a supplement, but not all supplements are vitamins. Now, vitamins are divided into two different categories. There's fat-soluble vitamins and water-soluble vitamins. Fat-soluble vitamins are stored in the body's fatty tissue, liver, and muscle. And these are vitamins A, D, E, and K. For better absorption, fat-soluble vitamins should always be taken with food that contains fat. Water-soluble vitamins, on the other hand, are the other types of vitamins. They're vitamin C and all of the B vitamins. And water-soluble vitamins aren't stored within your body. Once you eat them and they're absorbed, whatever is left over gets passed out through your urine. So that means that water-soluble vitamins need to be taken frequently because we don't store them in our body. So hopefully now you understand the difference between vitamins and supplements, and you understand that there are two different types of vitamins. So let's talk now about how any of that relates to what will break a fast. So in short, vitamins will not break a fast as long as they are the right type of vitamins. What do I mean by this? Well, if you're taking your vitamins and they contain extra carbs or sugars or additives, those vitamins will likely break a fast. An example of a vitamin that contains a carb would be a gummy vitamin. So gummy vitamins in general have added sugar, added carbs, added calories, and they will break a fast. So I talked earlier about how fat-soluble vitamins should be taken with food that contain fat. So that means those vitamins, vitamin A, D, E, and K, they won't necessarily break your fast if you take them while fasting, but they need to be taken with food that contains fat so that you can actually absorb them and use them. Water-soluble vitamins can be taken during your fast. They won't break it, and they don't need any extra food to be effective. Other types of supplements and vitamins that will not break a fast are electrolytes, caffeine, probiotics, and multivitamins if the multivitamins don't contain any fat-soluble vitamins and don't contain any carbs or added sugar or any additives that will break a fast. So to help simplify things, I've made a list of 7 supplements and vitamins that will definitely break your fast so you know what you can avoid. The first one is protein powder. So the main purpose of protein powder is to supplement protein in our diets and to help muscle growth and recovery along with other various functionings in our body. So in order to do that and to help repair and build muscle, it requires energy, and that energy comes in the form of calories. So that is why protein definitely breaks a fast. It not only contains added protein in there, which is calories, it has overall calories. And your typical protein powder is gonna have at least 15 grams of protein. It's gonna have some grams of carbs, usually a little bit of sugar, and it should have around 100 calories in there for a typical serving. So definitely having protein during your eating window is ideal. So I do not recommend having protein during your fasting window because it will break a fast. Number 2 is gummies. This is something I've already mentioned, but I want to go over it again because anything gummy is going to have added carbs, likely added sugar, and that means added calories. So that is going to break a fast because we don't want to have our body think that we're consuming any food. And once it does, it's going to start releasing the insulin and fast is over. And this one's a tricky one because, like we've talked about, although fat-soluble vitamins don't technically break a fast on their own, they will break a fast because you need to be eating them with food that contain fat so that you can actually absorb those fat-soluble vitamins. So I definitely recommend waiting until your eating window to have fat-soluble vitamins with food that contains fat. Number 4 on our list is bone broth. So the weird part about bone broth is that it kind of depends on what your goals are for your fast. Bone broth in itself contains about 30 to 50 calories per cup. So by our definition of what breaks a fast, bone broth would definitely break a fast. But the thing about bone broth is even if the fast is broken, if your goal for intermittent fasting is just to improve your overall fat burning potential, bone broth can actually still help you achieve your goal. And it can help you extend your fasting window out longer while also getting that benefit. So number 5 is collagen. So collagen contains about 30 calories per serving. So that will definitely break our fast if we're going off of just pure calories breaking a fast. So many people who follow a bone broth fast will be okay with having collagen also because it has such low calories. Personally, because it does have the calories and it does contain proteins, I don't consume collagen during my fast. I consider it a fast breaker and I like to play it safe. And so for me, when I break my fast, I will have my Cleanish protein and collagen in a shake together, and I wait until my eating window starts to have those supplements. So just like with bone broth, I consider collagen a fast breaker and I do not have it during a fast. Next, let's talk about MCT oil. MCT oil contains calories. I consider it a fast breaker, but it does get absorbed differently than other types of fat. So that should be considered also if you're interested. So technically, MCT oil doesn't stimulate the body to release insulin, which technically means that it wouldn't affect your body's fat burning capabilities while on a fast. That being said, it's still a high calorie food, so I consider it a fast breaker, although it doesn't technically interrupt the health benefits of intermittent fasting. So to be safe, I avoid it during fasts. You'll notice that I like to be safe a lot on these types of things. I would rather just keep it nice and simple and not have a bunch of random rules. There's also amounts that you want to have of certain things, and unless your goal is to literally be on a bone broth, collagen, or MCT oil type fast, I recommend not messing around with it and just kind of keeping it simple and avoiding all things that contain calories. Next up are branched chain amino acids, also known as BCAAs. So if you're strictly fasting, I would recommend avoiding BCAAs during that fasted window. Now, there are other supplements that weren't mentioned in this video for time. There's a ton of supplements out there. The important thing to note here is that you have this rule that if it contains calories, it's gonna break your fast. So if you are concerned, definitely check to see if it has calories, and if it does, it's a fast breaker. That doesn't mean you should never have those supplements. Just wait until your eating window. So then, what about medicine? Does medicine break your fast? Is it okay to have medicine while you're in a fasted state? Well, the answer is kind of simple also here. Yes, you can have medicine during your fast if it doesn't contain calories. However, I do want to note that some medicines, particularly medicine that is used to treat diabetes and thyroid disease, can definitely have an impact on your insulin levels and blood glucose, and you should definitely talk to your doctor about whether or not it's good to have in a fasted state. You know, the ultimate goal is to make sure that your lifestyle matches up with your intermittent fasting and you can be successful in what you're doing. And so the cool thing about IF is that you can change it however fits your lifestyle. And honestly, there's enough information about medicine alone and whether it breaks a fast that we could do an entirely different video. So let me know below in the comments if you'd like me to do a separate video on medicines and whether or not they break a fast. And if you did find it useful, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and share it with anyone who you know that is doing IF that could benefit from what breaks a fast. Here's to being better than yesterday every day. Stay tuned and I'll see you in the next video.